A woman struck and paralyzed from an accident 10 years ago is now having trouble getting a new wheelchair.
But as Christina Zerjako found out today, it's not the doctor or the medical supplier behind the delay, but fraud. Christina?
Jackie, Tim, Ebony Ramirez has been bedridden, unable to speak or move. But through it all, her mother was able to care for her and allow her to still get out of the house by her wheelchair. But now, because of a bad case of fraud, she can't even properly visit a doctor.
My baby, you don't feel very good, huh?
Since the very first day after being hit by a big rig, Ebony Ramirez has received nothing but unconditional love and support from her mother, Tice Morset.
I'm her mouth, I'm her voice, I'm her feet, I'm her hands, everything.
After the accident, Ebony was in a coma for 2 years, but her troubles didn't stop there. She was then diagnosed with cervical cancer.
She's had to have a hysterectomy. Just so much, so much.
Her battle with cancer was successful, becoming cancer-free in 2007. The following year, her mother decided to get her a wheelchair.
Get her up and getting her blood circulating and let her know there's, life outside these walls.
That wheelchair she has now had for 5 years, and because of the continued use, it is practically falling apart.
This right here is the axle, and they keep coming out.
Morset brought Ebony to her doctor of over 8 years last Thursday so they could get a new wheelchair. But after the paperwork was faxed to a medical supplier, the doctor's assistant brought her news she didn't expect.
She came back to me and she said, Tice, Ebony had a wheelchair delivered to her 3 years ago. And I said, where? I said, now I've had this wheelchair for 5 years.
After looking into the paperwork, the doctor's office found out that a medical supplier billed Ebony's Medicare for a power wheelchair, something Ebony's doctor wouldn't have prescribed.
And if anybody knows anything about Ebony, they would know she cannot use an electric wheelchair. She doesn't have peripheral vision.
But this is not the first time Morset has dealt with fraud. Back in 2011, she originally tried getting a newer wheelchair, but was also denied due to the same problem, a problem that may have been started because of stolen medical information.
When KMC had a lot of files that was stolen, we got a letter. Ours was in there. That's the only thing I can come up with.
That case took a year to clear up, a year that Morset doesn't feel she can afford this time around.
It's just, I watch my baby lay in that bed and she's dying. And I can't do nothing about it. I don't know what to do about it.
23 ABC spoke to Prime Medical, the current medical supply company that Morset is going through, and they told us that they will work with the insurance company and the doctor and will have a new wheelchair to Ebony within a couple of months. In the studio, Christina Zerjako, 23 ABC.